Hey, beautiful people, and happy magnificent Monday. I hope today has brought you nothing but reasons to smile. And in the event that it hasn't, well, you know how it goes. By the time I'm done here today, you will have either laughed at me or with me, but either way, you deserve both. I hope all is well for you. My Monday started off here in Texas, a beautiful day. It's so interesting because I looked at the actual weather on my phone and it was like, hey, Tyson. It said 75 degrees. I was like, okay, 75 Texas degrees because it feels like 90 California degrees. It was it was pretty interesting. So it was a nice walk. Found lots of change. Really seen some interesting birds. I've seen a red bird, and I'm thinking that's a cardinal, right? Well, anyway, I've seen a couple birds. It's been nice. Texas has been really nice. The road trip has been good, a little delayed, but I am not stopping until I'm where I need to be. But it's been a true blessing, and with every ounce and every inch of effort in doing this, there's a story, hi Dan, that is going to add to the big picture. And I want to talk about that a little bit tonight because I have found that many people really, they like the concept of change. They start to goal, they put things down, they write it on paper, they're excited about the newness, but then what happens is because something feels not the same. Something starts to come up in them that doesn't feel comfortable because they don't know it. Remember, there's many things that are uncomfortable. That doesn't mean that it's bad per se. It just means that it's not what you're used to. So here you go, right? You're on your way to goal setting. You're on your way to being new. You're ready to go. You're ready for this change. And then something happens and then all of a sudden, hey, Leonard. And then all of a sudden something happens and it takes you out of your element and you immediately run back to your old self. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to think about yourself, hi Gilbert, as a plant. Have any of you ever got a plant from like a grocery store? Yeah, I know it's probably not the best place to get a plant, but I've done it many times. I've went and got, they had like the mums and like all these different little cute plants, and I would take them from like the grocery store. I would take them home. I would nurture them for a few days indoors. I would put it outside, and when I put it outside, it died. Every time, every plant that I took from a store, home to outside died. It didn't stay dead though. It eventually came back. And it came back better, and it came back like with stronger flowers, and it was amazing. But me not really being a gardener, but having my first year experience with plants, I was just like, wow. Why did this plant die? I was really upset with myself. I said, wow, if I would have just kept it inside, it would have lived, And so I think that's what happens with us with change. We take ourselves from a comfortable spot, we move it, the elements, things, situations, a little bit of different feeling happens, and then there's a part of us that has to die so that a part of us can be born. And we don't like that part because we think it's all over then. We think everything is done because there's parts of us that have died. But I have yet to find something. Oh, Doug, that's good to know. I have yet to find something that doesn't shed something to grow. Whether it's a snake that sheds its skin, whether it's a tree or a plant that has its season, whether it's the tadpole that goes into the frog, whether it's the mayfly that starts from the nymph that goes on and it's gone, its life cycle in 24 hours, everything has to shed and it has to be okay. So then here's what happens. We get into this newness. We get into this new plant, this new environment with these new elements, right? You're now the plant outside. You're dealing with new elements. You're dealing with things that seem uncomfortable. But in you as a plant, it is in you to grow. You have all you need. You were born with everything you need. But see, what's happened is you've gotten so comfortable that the change scares you because of you thinking you're not adequate. You won't make it. This was a dumb choice. Why did I do this? I'm shivering cold outside. This doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel good because it's not what you're comfortable with. It's not what you're used to. So then here's what happens. We'll go back and find out what it is in our old self to bring it outside. Your job isn't to go and find parts of your old self to bring forward. Your job is to keep going forward. Your job is to keep growing. Your job is to learn how to adapt and get better to get ready for the next season. Think about it. When something's upset, let's just say we'll go back to the plant. When you do have a plant that's outside and it's not doing so well, let me ask you this. What do? Do you shame the plant and say, why didn't you stay a seed, you silly plant? Why didn't you stay little? How dare you grow just to have bad leaves or to die? No. You take the pieces of the plant, you clip off the dead parts, you give it some minerals, you give it something, and you help it grow. We are so hard on ourselves that we feel like every time something comes into our life that isn't full green or fully grown or, hey, happy with all the new elements, we say that something's wrong. I say no. Appreciate the brown leaf in your life. Appreciate the part that might be dying off, because what it's telling you is it no longer serves you and you have to let it go in order to grow. But no, we want to go back in the house and be that house plant quick and in a hurry, or maybe back to that grocery store. And I get it. I understand it, because we really do have a slight fear of the unknown. And the way that it was designed is we're supposed to be grateful and excited for the unknown, because it leaves room for newness. So here we go. We're on our new journey in life, because our mission isn't to stand still. And in fact, we know there is no standing still. Life is you're either going forward and creating or disintegrating. We know this. So here you are with this new plant, and parts of your old self are dying off. So what you do is, instead of trying to find out what you need to nurture the new part of you, the real part of you, the stronger part of you, this new green part that's growing, instead of you looking at what is the best minerals for this newness, you go back into the old and try to give it the same minerals you used to give the old parts that fell off. Stay with me here. It does not work. It doesn't work. That's like you going and putting, let me use a food analogy in case you don't get the plant one. That's like you going and adding old grease to a piece to go fry chicken. That chicken's not going to taste right. It wasn't the chicken's fault. It was a good piece of chicken. You put it in the old grease. It's the same thing with the plant. As you're going through life and you're walking forward and you're shedding pieces of yourself, stop feeding it the old food. Learn with it. Embrace it. Love it, and find out what it is that you need in order to give it the best chance for survival. You're beautiful, and you're capable of so much, but you have to stop thinking that you can do new stuff on old soil. You have to stop thinking that because every now and then you may spur a brown leaf, or you may have a twig that breaks off of your life, that it's devastating. Celebrate it. Say, I know that there's new growth coming. I know that there's another season coming. I know that I've sustained. Thank God for that. I was talking to somebody today, and we were talking about health. She was displeased with a few things in her body. And I think we forget, when our bodies cry out, or our mind cries out, or our heart cries out, or whatever is crying out, instead of being angry with it, instead of feeling so helpless with it, you need to thank yourself. I'm thankful for what I'm feeling, because this is my body telling me I need something different. I'm thankful for the sadness that I'm feeling, because it means I'm alive, and sadness is an important component. I'm thankful for the happiness I'm gaining. We act like every season has to be about all-stars and A+s and rainbows and sunshine and honey and all this and all that. You could not be as magnificent as you are if you could not go through all seasons. We are built for that. We're built for it. And that's why you go and you get the minerals you need, which might be the meditation, might be the walks, might be the drinking more water, might be the listening to your body. Listening to yourself. But nah, you'd rather reach back in that old back pocket into what you're used to and go for old remedies. Life will stretch you. You don't want to stretch, it'll start to break pieces of you. You want it to stop hurting? Start listening. Start coming inside. Your self-worth starts when you stop looking for external situations and circumstances to serve you. Self-worth starts when you say, everything in me is based on what I say and feel within me, not what comes my way. That's where you start to feel balanced, is when you say, everything is always working out for me. Why would it not be? I serve a God who says, greater is he that is in me that is in the world. I'm confused as to why so many people are really having a hard time understanding the beauty within them. I get it. There's old stuff. I get it. There's stuff in the subconscious that's been there from before we knew about it. I get it. Life has given us some ugly old paradigms that are stinking our thinking up. I get it. But it's time to start trusting the process, you guys. It's time. It's time to start feeding yourselves the minerals that you need. It's time to start saying, I have to listen to what's in here just a little bit better. Because my past has brought me to here. And what has that said? When you make the decision for yourself to live your best self, you will be so much more than you ever thought about yourself. I promise you. I can show you pictures of me 20 years ago. 20 years ago, where I'm wearing like Dickies and a t-shirt, just the little gangster girl on the street. I could show you pictures from 10 years ago, where I was partying and hanging out. I could show you pictures from 5 years ago, where things started getting interesting. And I can show you pictures from 3 years ago, where life said, are you ready? And when I surrendered and I said, yes, I'm ready, the next thing I knew, I'm digging in dumpsters for recycles. So was the initiation fun? No. But what I can tell you is the truth and the freedom that I have and that I'm living right now couldn't happen unless I went through those seasons. You're not hearing me. I know you're not hearing me, because some of you are going, I don't, that's you, but that's not me. No, there's something in you and you feel it every now and then, where there's joy inside of you because you have forgotten to think about your circumstance. You have forgotten to think what you don't have. You've allowed yourself to live in the moment and you go, yes, I'm breathing. But what happens is you so quickly answer to life's call of stuff. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do this. You have to do that. I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to pay attention to myself. I don't have time to read. I don't have time to invest in myself. And all the while, all your branches are falling off. All the while, your minerals are getting sucked up into trying to fertilize and condition old thinking, trying to do that when it's saying every day you're new. What does the Bible say? Die daily? I don't think you understand. You have to come into today. You can't come into today left over from yesterday. You can't come into today always thinking about tomorrow. Your truth is right now. Right now. That's all I had for you guys tonight. I appreciate you. Probably more than you know. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to say, I don't know what I don't know, but I do know where I've been. It is so amazing to say, I don't know how many flowers may bloom in my personal garden this season, but what I do know is I'll never stop cultivating. I'll never stop putting in vitamins. I'll never stop doing what I need to have my greatest outcome. I don't know exactly what other trees will be with me in my garden, but what's important is that I keep my flowers blooming, that I keep my stem green, because I do affect those around me. You do too. As much as you might think that your life is just a life and that it's not important or that you don't matter, I will argue with you all day and tell you you are so beautiful, amazing. And if you don't feel that way, sometimes you need a little help. I do have programs that may help you get there. And if that's not something you're ready to do, just do this for me. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Call out your name and say, I love you. And if you can't do that square in the face, that tells you something. Get a book. Write. Go for a small walk. When I first started walking, you guys, it was because I was going crazy. Because I couldn't understand how my life had crashed at that age. I thought I had everything together. And I walked to stay sane. I walked to stay sane. And then what I realized is I started to see and hear and smell and feel life totally different. My body had been trying to tell me, pay attention to me long ago. Because it said, come with me, walk with me. Let's go experience life. Let's hear the birds. Let me show you the trees. Let me show you abundance that you have yet to fill with inside yourself. First, you must see the beauty in the world sometimes before you can see the beauty within yourself. But when you do, you say, I am loving life. Does that mean I have what some may say makes them happy, or have I gotten to the end of the journey? Why on earth would you want the end of the journey? What happens after that? The living is through the journey. If you had everything you wanted right now, you might as well buy a coffin. What's after that? If you have everything you want, what else you got? What else you got? Living is inside the journey. You're so beautiful. You're so capable. You're so amazing. And if nobody's told you today, let me tell you, you're loved. You're important. The past is gone. Don't start adding it to your future. Start right now with where you are today and believe in yourself. And if you don't have the power or the capacity or the love to do that, find somebody who believes in you. And if you don't have a human person around you tangibly that you can call, that you can go to, I need you to look up and say, I know that you're there. Whether it's God, the universe, Steve, Dan, whoever you want to call this power that's bigger than us. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to tell you who to serve. But I am here to tell you that you're a magnificent being and you come from something greater than you are. So you're never alone. Hi, Angela. Hi, Lewis. You guys are fabulous. Make sure that you tell yourself at least 2 times a day, I can. You can. You truly can. I will. Yes, you will. And I am so worth it. Yes, you are. God bless you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.